Hi, everybody. My name is Michelle Gilly, and I'm presenting my case study of a student I'm calling Lauren Scott. It's a pseudonym, it's not her actual name. So, just to tell you a little bit about the person that I studied, um, there's a photo of her, and she is a 10-year-old girl. She's a fifth grader at the school where I teach in Worthington. I don't have her as a student. She is in the gifted math classroom and gifted reading clustered for ELA and social studies. Some characteristics I thought would be helpful to be thinking about this child, that she is hardworking and respectful, attentive. She's all the things that teachers love to see in students. Um, Helpful with others, does her work, goes beyond. Um, she's often found tucked in the corner, her teacher said, reading. And her math teacher said that she is a quick learner, but she does need support with longer term projects. She can lose her way, and some other things that I'll share as I get into my case study that I bulleted there, especially about not being a risk taker. She did share with me, though, if she could go to school all year, she would. She loves it that much. So that's pretty cute. How Lauren was identified at my school was a two-step process through superior cognitive ability, and we use the COGAD testing for that. And she scored a 135 composite, and this is back when she was a third grader. And that correlates with the Ohio standards. They have to be 2 standard deviations above the mean, which she did. So through my slides, you'll see I have like left and right bulleted information. Usually I'm trying to connect my case study to either our reading or standards of Ohio. She was also identified through what we use MAP ability testing, and that's for academics. And she scored gifted in both math and reading. She's in the 98th percentile for both of those tests. And some rationale and some connections of her as a gifted learner. Two things that kind of popped out to me through speaking to her. I didn't mention I spoke to her twice in an interview kind of form, and spoke to her mom and then both teachers. So one thing that showed was this prevalence of curiosity. Lauren shared with me that she always has loved creating things. She and her brother created a Candyland game and renamed it Veggieland. And her mom said it looks like the actual game, like it's amazing. And as a fifth grader, she said she really enjoys those project-based learning opportunities. And that correlates with the research that I've noted there on my slide. Another thing I noticed was this mathematical interest in analytical thinking. She says she loves logic puzzles, and she's always trying to think of other ways of solving problems. Her mom shared that she takes notes from school and she'll come home and redo them in like a new graphic format or reorganize it in such a way so that she's organized the information for herself. So even like guided notes that teachers have given that's already scaffolded, she'll redo it on her own. She loves memorizing things and finds all of these school educational opportunities to be fun. All right, so the 3 emerging themes that I kind of put together here is this awareness of social issues, perfectionism, and parental support. And I'm going to dive deeper into each of these issues. So the first one, the awareness of social issues, I found that Lauren definitely connects to the research. Kohlberg's stages of moral development, it says that these gifted students like possess this stronger justice orientation and emphasis on moral principles, which I found kind of surprising, her being only 10 years old. She had in her conversation with me a lot of statements about women, and she wants to be a doctor because there needs to be more females in the field. Lauren's dad stated that he has read stories to them since they were very young about women leadership and powerful roles, and he's considered this kind of a mission statement for his daughters to understand this. Sorry about that. You probably heard my dog barking in the background. I had to go take care of that. Okay, the other aha thinking that I found with Lauren is this ideal of perfectionism. Her math teacher reported that she struggles with this fear of failure. And when faced with new learning or things that are challenging, she needs more scaffold and support. Another teacher described her as not being a risk taker, and she's like more confident and happy and motivated when she understands the curriculum and it's not difficult. And that is supported by, the textbook and the readings of perfectionist students kind of become an overachiever at times when the work is difficult. And the last thing is the parental support that she receives in her house. Both parents place the emphasis on education. Her mom shared that she was the first of her father's side to go to college, and it opened a world of experiences to her. And they've integrated education in their kids' lives, vacations, weekend trips. They go to museums, conservatories, and they try to always tie in something educational in their family time. And so recommendations and conclusions. Some recommendations I have for Lauren as she transitions this year into the middle school is to continue to learn and explore her interests in field, math and science, medicine, and finding that transition group of peers. She's going to be mixed in with new students, so finding those peers to help her with the transition and to support some social and emotional learning. And then to also make sure she's seeking support from guidance counselors and her parents to help her with this perfectionism. I feel as a parent of a child that's in high school that definitely has the perfectionist traits, I say the earlier the better in recognizing that you have this tendency. And I would love to see her be able to acknowledge that and start learning coping strategies, as she makes this transition to middle school. In conclusion, I have learned a lot of things about the uniqueness of the gifted learner, both educationally and emotionally. The different models of giftedness and theories of intelligence I found interesting, and the resources that we have available to help us understand giftedness. Greatly appreciate that, and I'm excited to teach gifted kids. I haven't had the opportunity yet, and through this case study, I'm even more excited for that adventure in my life. And I thank you guys for listening. I look forward to hearing about your case studies. The final slide I have is just the references that I used, and I thank you for your time today.